Yes.
Oh, summa tashitele. So tanda online gang tashitele.
So first of all, tashitele to everyone, especially to the people online today. So tashitele to the online people.
Yeah. Ane tatiri ngasu. Yeah, kazangel kashis chongba tanda ngasu karkol risena tanda. Semji gungwali ya tachik. Ane tagmonjogi. Ane takari chakino sinanda. Tinji chetiya. Ane ko ane yela damba seshita. Shong mambano pe mambo yore.
So following the topic of previous classes, so we were talking about the mind generation in Tibetan Semgye, or also bodhicitta. And in order to give rise to this mind, there are some prerequisites. There are some things that need to come before the rising of this mind. And we are talking now about the 7 limbs, the 7 limb prayer, which is mentioned in many texts as a prerequisite.
Yeah. Pena kasangele masu tanda lojang to dem ko ka chonra kapti tina tambolia to muishi ganma lebe kablea muishi nyamrende simki res simki de tondam simki da kunzum simki se ta tondam simki se ondi ta temre ta tomba ni gane samla ta chikche ni ba de kunzum simki se namji yon ta simki ta de ngole ya kar ko res ondi monjo ge ani ta ngonjo ta lapse di chutla sum nga chimbre tambo sosalami namjor tini ma ne london namje sangma ngonjo no so sha kyambar.
Also we had a class on the 7 points of mind training, the Jondon Duma.
Yeah.
And there the main practice of that text is this mind generation, is bodhicitta, both the ultimate bodhicitta, which is related to emptiness and the wisdom of selflessness, and also the conventional bodhicitta, which is the most well-known bodhicitta, associated with this word bodhicitta. And in that text, it says that before the engaging in this actual practice of cultivating bodhicitta, you need to go through the introduction. You need to work on the prerequisites. And in that text, it mentions 5 prerequisites, of which the first one is the Guru Yoga. And then also it goes through the 4 thoughts that change the mind.
Yeah. 다 디난게 가상을 맞아 가서 남이 남적을 뜻듯이 같이 종사래. 디네 마네 로다 남적 당번이디. 아니 다직 가서 나가서 담주 돈신세로 디고르체 디가는 처음부터 거래. 진유유시 같이 종래. 뜻듯이 다 디네 타마니디. 타마니디 데스 당보 가능한 수디 가는 사브로 당고는 데스 나랑 기타 세체나 데스 가보에 제사 버다.
당근은 쓰지.
디간로잖아. 데스 거르미르미체네 장네. 단다 직능 주간 갈라 컨셈 그냥 수수네. 고토로야 레잖아. 데니 단다 가서 위치네. 레전드다. 아니 코이냐 고시야 디코리아. 담보니 디건 장관 레 담보 하실 데스 가보에 서리사 보이스. Yeah.
And at that time we talked a little bit about Guru Yoga. We talked briefly about this practice, and also during the class on the Lam-Rim, we have been exposed to the first one of the 4 thoughts that change the mind, which is about the precious human rebirth with its freedoms and favorable conditions. And also we talked a little bit about impermanence and death. So this is the second thought that turned the mind. And the other 2, which are the law of karma and the disadvantages of samsara, I think that can be a bit challenging to talk, to teach and to learn, especially for us beginners. I think it's something that needs to be approached very gradually and gently.
Yeah. What didn't know it? That tiny, Tantan D, Lam-Rim, Ditoina, 아니 원조 추나니야 단다 아니 잠도 셉지 잠도 고소요래 대나지게 단다니 다니야라된 바치 다디워도 봐 되는 보시세요 니 소요 다 되는 게 되는 맞서 되는 만져야 돼
Sum jamjo.
잠도
Yalatupa
야라된 바
anito
되는
was
보시세요 섬고
doing obeji.
뭐다
And in the Lam-Rim, the prerequisites that are listed for the mind generation, for the arising of bodhicitta, there are three. So the first one is mentioned is refuge, the practice of refuge. The second one is the seven limbs prayer. And the third one is the four methods of gathering disciples. That's how it's usually translated. The four methods of gathering disciples.
다디 파리래야 가서 가르치네 소치 내야 시대 고그레세요 디토알레스로 직치 니니 다직 셈제세요 지 셈제세요 거드나 버스 뭐 보시고 고사로 특别早침부심 받아 백기 침부임 봐 참마게 대갑들 나 뭐보시도 장에 세요 저디 거나가라 컨셉 로 경치 요스 바래 다 이나요 다때치 가르치는 기준을 찾으래서 직접 아니니 고소 걸레든지 시고야 가르치 다디토랑 하신글레스라
아니 super 이거 좀
당보대 당보 아니
배용 거다
고소 갑들 아니 대신 셈지세요 디가는 저샤나 뭐래야 된지 지 단다니 야라된 바에서 가르치는 거 그랬어요 어디 트월레스 그랬다데
So the first question that might arise is of course very natural to ask why do we need these prerequisites in order to give rise to bodhicitta? So that's the first question. Why do we need these prerequisites? Why are they important? And the second question that might come, this topic of mind generation, bodhicitta, it's a very famous topic. And most of us, we probably have already had many teachings on this subject. We have some understanding, and it's very common for people to consider it as something precious, something very important, a very big topic, bodhicitta. It's something very precious, yeah, we can say that. But a question that is good to come is why is this mind important? Why is bodhicitta important? That's the second question to ask ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super yellow. Super yellow.
다이나 다 가려운 것들이잖아. 와서 무시가 단다의 지 장축 셈세야 돼. 장축 기 셈세는다. yana 안에 다지 디지 셈기라나 단다지 거래 디지 장축 셈. 다디 츠코랑 강나 삼바다네 장축 세야 돼. 다지 안에 하나 갈아 그러던데 장축 세야 돼. 아니 남비 직다르 감시나 다지 기원 담시 빵데 아니 단준도드나 아니 직상제이 컴ponse 되거든요. 예. 디 셈세 같이 시험데 디 아니 직 톰도 셈세나다. 딜이야 직대 돈도 년케 아니 삼로 자침부시네 같이 시고요. 딘디 삼로 자침부시 용해야 돼. 아니 직 삼로데 자침부를 랍고야 코로야 디 삼로티 무이나네 센제 탐제게 쳇세요. 마버지 쳇세 삼로디니 싫어. 디 전에 코로는 당시 부차.
근데 주부지 디 경기 디 쳔부지래.
자침부여. 셈자침부여 비긴생게 딘디 삼로디야. 야. 이 전에야 코로나 자침부시 차고야 진짜 지들. 그래서 침부 차야 돼. 그런 자침 무이르 자침부. 다데 자침부시나 다데 영화 초초시래 말이세 저들. 어때 영화를 해야지 자딩듯이나 빼먹 보고 그래서.
So the term that's used for bodhicitta, the meaning, if we explain the term, the English translation would be mind of enlightenment.
Yeah.
And enlightenment here means the complete abandonment of all mistakes, all faults of ourselves, of the mind. They're completely eliminated, and then the result is a very vast mind. And why can you say that it's a vast mind? Why is it an expansive, a broad, not narrow mind? because it accommodates all sentient beings. The object of this mind is extremely vast, which it's all sentient beings. And because of this vastness, it's also said to be precious. From there, the preciousness of this mind comes.
Yeah, that indeed it's a chimbude. Yon chochoshi namsa. Also samlo yon chochoshi maiba. Yon chochoshi maindi tangole traditish mopush kugrese dikachitra.
And then this to say in simple ways, this just as much as it's precious, this mind, it's also not easy to come. It's not something that pops up very easily in our mind stream. And because it's not easy to come, you need to have work a lot on these prerequisites. You need to prepare a lot your mind stream in order to have this mind. And then when we talk about preparing to rise to this mind, then we talk about the 7 limbs prayer. And what is the benefit if we can work with the 7 limbs prayer? So you accumulate merits. So there are two types of accumulation. There is the accumulation of merits and accumulation of wisdom. And through this prayer, the 7 limbs prayer, we can accumulate merits.
Yeah. Tachi ini sonong tsosa se ti tonda de kansangong zinjana ti kola kashe tutu chongshwa karla tonda kares sonong tsosa tsosa se ti karpendo sosolia tsosa se tonda kare wadi kashe se sa se ni chudang ni chiko ya chiggang ya chi zaya ro samlo chi to ya ne build some dinizile sa se tik tonda ko ta sono mu sa se ma ti tonda karese kazangel ti ko ka che ti chomre ta tonda tsudna marso suso ne samlo ge ta chi nebab se na ta ya lo to lo niba inner strength te ya bit che ko ta te ya umbetna ichetres.
And we have talked in previous classes briefly about the meaning of this accumulation of merits, right? When we say the word accumulation, what comes to our minds is that we are piling something up, right? We have 1, and then we have 2, we have 3. We're getting more and more. And what is it that we are accumulating in this case? So mainly, it's so we can say that this accumulation of merits is the strengthening of our minds. So we are accumulating inner strength. Our mind is getting stronger and stronger.
Te karchene te nga soya ne sagure sono so sagure launde dandi nepabla nga so te ya chik kambani masone te ya build chasan meya shik dongyorada danda ya sagundu launde danda ya ko mawoshi kan yosha ti danda karchene nga so ne yawe chak samlo yawe chok samla nipa ina nipa yawe chok pe kyokocha very weak ta shamba namji ngaso control ngajer gachok samlo de pe ngaso kone ya kalanchmas fitchen pe tokchumcha.
And why do we need to engage in this accumulation? Because at this moment we are usually in a low level. Our thoughts towards the virtuous directions, towards the wholesome, good directions, they are weak. We are very weak to engage in these thoughts and stay with these thoughts. On the other hand, on the negative side, we are very strong. We have accumulated a lot of strength in the direction of anger, pride, arrogance, etc.
Yeah. Kozo samlo dachi samlo loba chote namse chikiona masol pe wangju chocho. Ani chik negative chochora kozo pe top chumucha. Maso al pa wangire pa shashi maranso ti wala pasi kozo tsu wangirche.
When negative emotions arise in our mind, in our hearts, immediately we get under the control of these emotions. We don't have the power, we don't have the strength to stay on top of this emotion. We immediately, as soon as it arrives, we are under it, and this is already controlling us if we have this negative emotion.
Yeah, penati dodana dati so chik samlo loba chode peti langshodon addiction pet koso pet ka tindro namsa ti ko yon chok ta samlo ya chod be nyamao be koron sachani jima sone ko be ta korongi rawando tsama shorne anto samlo ya chok e positive inji ke chik pena ching azu sachar ji masona sacha manchewa da champa chu ko space changma ko suism ei sablo ya chode space in chinju the very corner ta ba chinju ji gamde te ampe nyam chinju so
we are addicted to this negative emotions, to the negative thoughts. We are addicted to it, and if we say that our mind is a field, like a plantation field, most of the field is already reserved, is already has a plaque there, like reserved for the negative emotions, and they're growing there. And only a very small portion of the field, only on the corner, we have our virtuous thoughts, our positive thoughts. And our goal is to take care of these virtuous thoughts. Our goal is to preserve them.
Yeah. That dindi on the negative show, Kosuya, dindi, Dobchimbu Chaya, Kosu Stone, dindi Chaya dear, Be Comdi Mambo Shundroni, Rimbe Chinia, Go Comdindo Shajushi. Tadi Chaundi, Tadi Captage Langona, Korea, against Chegona, Ticho de Yamachi, Samlona Kartangore, the against Che Yunjush, Kola Capticha, Yunjush Chiche. That Chaya Yoa Conceal process could urum de Shimba Chini, Drogoya, Tessamong Pertanguri, Lamsang, and the Choni, Janja, Rachene, then Meadian Matsumani, Tadgo is Samlona. Tadgo Mena, and then Captain Chaya, Captain Chinzenga Chena, Yoa Marta. This was a Shoryamato, then give up Chare.
So because these habituations, these negative emotions, habituations to these negative emotions or wrong ways of thinking, etc., because we have habituated so much, this has become very strong. And when this arises, when this is manifest, if our way of dealing with it is directly, if we try to directly suppress it or to directly eliminate this negative emotion, it's very hard. It's impossible because we don't have the strength necessary. The good side is not strong enough. So the only way is respecting the process, knowing that this is the case and respecting the process. So respecting this process, we start to prepare ourselves. Instead of directly going to fight the bad guy, we prepare ourselves.
Yeah. Tadi Tindi Teddy prepare chair cargo is only thunder. And then also some Yawi shot it. Come to Yatia Tapsi Checo. Tapsi chair and chick Kasongong Chichis, some young chick go and some not down a cavalier chick Lacharish Masona. Trolls. Dentro caragore. Se on dit andatia, only a yam lemba so sonja and the yellow dempasia. This one. Tatiring a sonroina, than the GC runs here. GC runs here to Tangosugi some log yaoi chosen and that was positive thing. Joe child, Yasuelia. GC rung a unique chairs.
Just reading in
Korea, no Korea. Yeah,
and we need now that we find ourselves in this situation, we need to find ways to improve this positive side. And there are many tools that we can use in order to prepare ourselves and to improve our positive strength. And one of these, is the 7 limb prayer. And today we're going to talk specifically about the the tool of rejoicing. Yeah, the limb of rejoicing.
As you just talked about, like increasing the positive stuff. So that means kind of like planting positive karmic seeds. So how does purification and the four opponent powers fit in here? Should we like leave them out at the beginning and come to this later when we have the strength? Or should we at the same time work on purification already?
Dujik lang ngayon sa di pa siya. Kaya dujik lang maray na yun. Din niyam do ngayon sa sonam so sakti ngayon sa di pa siya. Kaya ba yung di siya siya kaya.
야 가장 야 단다니 샤바체바세디 단다니 야나담바는 게 창자와다 저치 샤바세디 순반하셔요. 순반 샤듬 제고 냠담아서 그 연락 dun세다 마서 삼로 당당 럼바지 죽이셔요. 티 삼로 당당 럼바 텐직 삼로 당에 잠식이 마서 창마샤도 그래. 아니 지금 마서 되게 야니 제고 냠든 줘야래 냠든 냠도 줘고 정말.
Yeah, we have to do it together. So the purification is one of the limbs of the 7 limbs. So it's a third limb of the purification with the 4 opponent powers. And yeah, it's to be done together.
Yeah. 샤덤제 가자니 가르청래. 샤덤제 갑라 니부 톱시카나 당부 땡기 톱시야디. 그래서 소소 동바알에 디과 샤사 디과 소사가 니니오니 디니라 템비 소소 샤바치 가브리나. 고원이 잠로다 셈체시 삼로다. 잠로 셈체시. 그러나 단단디 아니 도촉이 당노촉이 됐 이노든 박디스 대진 라고 말해. 단단 도촉도 있나 단단히 지시는 거 질이야. 아니 더 갈아버다. 아니 단다 그러다 소다 바니로. 노촉 군이 있잖아. 잠로 습진이 지금 들어서 그래.
노촉라 그래?
잠로다 셈진이데 올 마셔 그래. 단다.
올 마셔 그래.
단다 연어등반에 연어등반에 그 창세와 당 창세마다 아니 소 단다 그와다 소다 바니 참이야.
참라야.
아니 베니 참이야. 아니 잠로 습진이도.
잠로 습진이래. Yeah, so we saw it in a previous class about these 4 opponent powers of purification. And the first of the opponent powers is the power of support. Support here means that on the basis of what have you committed your negativities, your bad actions. They had 2 possible objects. One of them is your objects of refuge, so Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, etc., your teachers. The second one is sentient beings. So because of this, because towards them you have committed bad actions, then the power of support is taking refuge, which is directed towards the objects of refuge, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and also you give rise to this to bodhicitta. Yeah, so it's refuge and bodhicitta, and bodhicitta is directed towards sentient beings. And the 7-limb prayer, there is a difference between the sutra and the tantra presentation of the 7 limbs prayers. So after rejoicing now is the 5th of the limbs. After rejoicing, we have the requesting the Buddhas to teach and requesting the Buddhas to stay, to live for a long time. So instead of these 2, in the tantric presentation of the 7 limb prayers, they replace these 2 with refuge and this bodhicitta. Refuge and bodhicitta,
yeah. What was number 4?
Number 4 is the purification. No, it's number 4 is the rejoicing.
I did you just say it's number 5?
Sorry, I made a mistake, I think. No, yeah. 4th is rejoicing. The 5th would be the requesting, right?
Yeah.
Requesting teachings. The 6th, requesting for them to stay a long time, and the 7th, dedication.
Yeah. What that is tini retatiring also dinima
So rejoicing, what's the meaning of rejoicing?
Tajidang jisi yarang se ti ani ta yang chochini Jisi Ransena Chitani Kacha Kaptik Pandesha Jamna, Jesus Yonde, Ani Java Karachina, Java Jisia, Year Ramas on the Tela Gawa Gumetri. Kaptin Desha Jamna.
So if we explain the exact meaning of the word, and here of course he's using the Tibetan word. So in Tibetan, rejoicing is Jesu Irang. And Jesu Irang, Jesu is one word, which means after or later. So, and Irang means to appreciate, right? To delight on something, to appreciate. So the meaning of the word is to appreciate after the fact. Yeah, appreciate later. That's the meaning of the literal word.
Yeah. Tati Carpento Resena, Pena, Tachi Gela Chisiron Chot Sonsi, Gevi Chava Chona, and then Dig any Yanot the Manaki, any Chisiron Siate, Gevi Chava Chilea, Chisiron Chava, the initial Kokure.
So here on the context of the seven limbs prayer, rejoicing is rejoicing towards virtuous actions, only towards virtuous actions.
Tadi Gevi Chava Chinge Deata, Chik Moleata, Chik and Sanjina Chanjisapa, Mambo Shushi Persari, Kozugani, Chik Nanjaya, Gevi Touch. Karina di kolia chisiran chia yungore te maembe soso we tanda chi musigi ni chi soso we zai lama tinji we ta chi lap chengre ani changle ta ti win za patne karina telia chisiran chi chogre te maembe tandur dana chi gewi chawa chenge sunri yuna telia masu ta chi chisiran chi tana ta te chi soso ya pendo chi mu yong ka shikri ya.
So who do we rejoice towards? So before us in existence, there has been countless Buddhas that have come, countless Buddhas that have engaged in vast amount of virtuous actions. So this is one object of rejoicing, and also directly our teacher, the person who gives us teachings, we can also rejoice on his or her actions and on their kindness, the good things they have done. We can remember them and rejoice. And neither of those, whoever engages in any sort of virtue, this is something for us to rejoice.
Yeah. Tapashogi ani givi chawa ya boji ani nangsha telia so gawa gomtona be
Sula.
ta gawa ta lama ina ta kari suina givi chawa dumkesh ta ngonji jiwa tamba ina tanda so ngus tongsha tindi ta chi givi chawa telia jisi an gomtona so le kependo kana semba be galan semba be kibo be chi kaptelia chi so semba be semba chi kalora namji chi kashi nime se semba ding ningoni gawashi gomtona 다 소소가 되게 시원한 시선 소소 삼로 야외 초래야 즉 고들이야 간는듯이 소소 눈비도 현대듯이 야외야 이 가르에서는 초사세 소소 소는 거 초사래서
one immediate benefit that we can see when we rejoice in someone's virtue, in someone's good actions, it doesn't matter who it is, one immediate benefit. So the meaning of rejoicing is to appreciate the virtuous action of someone, is to be happy about it, to cultivate the sense of happiness about what the person has done. And one immediate benefit is that our mind becomes happy. You feel this happy feeling when you engage in this practice. And this happy feeling that you get towards a virtuous direction, you know, when we were talking before, if your mind is a field and there is one place here with a little place here with good seeds that you're planting, virtuous seeds, this happy feeling is watering, is giving nutrition to your positive side. And this is the meaning. This is strengthening your positive inner mind, your inner strength, positive inner strength. This is your accumulation of merits happening.
초치는 양 가래 벤토르잖아. 지시랑 직치와티 또 그저의 자와데 빼 약보시기 막 동거를 써서 빼 약보시오시 통모데 또 수소에는 딘지 강이야. 제인도 봐. 좀더 수소엔도 봐. 식치는도나 되게 와서 강을 쉬어나시. 수소미게 단다. 즉 야외 처럼 삼는 당사에 춘주시 내로 가르쳐. 배 춘주시 못해요 말. 다때에서 자체체도야. 가르치는 수소에 삼는 야외 처럼이야. 이제 넘바 좀 받지 고는데 삼바 그런 되시. 야.
Wi-Fi 시계. Can you guys listen? Do we have no? Sorry.
Yeah.
I just have to put here the hotspot. Sorry, our Wi-Fi died, but we're back. And maybe I have forgotten what Geshe had said before translating. Yeah, he said from another side, another benefit of rejoicing in a virtuous action is because it also gives rise to your aspiration to also engage in these virtuous actions, to also engage in virtue. And we were saying that it's a small field, right, that we have of virtues in our mind. And this helps to expand this field, the more aspiration we have to practice virtue. So this is another benefit of rejoicing, fueling, giving nutrition to our aspiration towards the positive side.
Yeah. 아니 지시랑 치아 참마데 기회초에 지시랑 치고래서는 등이바 치어 말았어. 인스 개와이 마고야. 배는 샴바지게 내가 가리나 내가 야와 가르치요는 배는 지 노경고 차니리 양나지 간도르다나 가리나 자와야 보지 치요나 수수들이야 가와금 초고래서.
And rejoicing shouldn't be restricted. It's not limited towards virtuous actions, virtuous states of mind. Also, whatever good things someone else has come, for example, with his studies, his or her studies or work, etc., which are not necessarily virtue, we also can appreciate it and rejoice.
야, 뒤 가르펜도 그래서는 아주 많지와시 미치리야 지시랑 고랑을 가야 보지 제외는 너도는 가야 보지 고랑치 다시 람론도에 직가리는 सक्세스 가르쳐야 될 지시랑 제타나 뒤 가르펜도 그래서는 아주 남기 많지야 아주 다시 차도 지그러 다시 미치야 보지 차외나 수수야 된다고 좀 거야. 대 마전에 될 차도의 수수 아니 심바 맞죠. 어디 차도 마요. 배 내가 직들.
So a benefit of rejoicing even in activities that are not virtue, for example, let's say someone is being very successful, maybe in business or things like this, which are not necessarily related to virtue. If we are able to rejoice, to appreciate in their activities, then we don't give rise to jealousy, which is something that can come very easily if someone got something that maybe we wanted. So in that situations, we might feel this jealousy. But if we apply this rejoicing, if we rejoice, then we are not jealous. And if we're not jealous, our mind is happier.
Yeah. 파쇼게 레카 야보시 소소기 티체 마터나야 미지게 레카 야보시 제토야나 고 지금 내름들 마송나 지금 레버 야보시 강이야 레토야나 포지션 야보시 강이야 콜레토야나 텔이야 소소 가와 건터나 배 야보시 뭐니 심바 딩니 가와 건터나 아니 디 파쇼게 자와 야보시에 소소리야 코란 기보요 임바체 코란 배 우차 디레가디 소소에 기보서 돼야지 디 소소를 락발이요 타데
Yeah, and if someone is able to do something that we cannot do, and if we are able to look into the success of this person and rejoice and have this mind of rejoicing, then instead of jealousy, then of course the success of this person has made this person happy. But if you rejoice, the success of this person also makes you happy, also has the power to make you happy, and that's in your hands. That's in your hands. If you rejoice, it can also make you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Geshe had said just before that this rejoicing to make you happy, it has to be from the deep of your heart, not like half rejoice.
아니 저 남비 쇼마 보시는 가르쳐야 되잖아요. 지시랑 가쇼 개와야 보시트 된 게시리야. 그런 게 개사. 즉 양보시트 돼야 돼. 소소 심바 땡니 많이 지시랑 보시잖아. 그런 게 개사. 사대한 저식 소소리 개사 좀 그렇지 냠바.
In many Buddhist texts, it's explained that if you're able, from the tip of your heart, to rejoice in the virtuous actions of someone, then however much roots of virtue, however much merits or virtue the other person has accumulated, you also accumulate the exact same.
Yeah.
From the deep of your heart.
Tadi 즉 안에 다칼라다. 아니 수송원이 이쪽에 참여래 만치 가래나 즉 받순 쇼체 먹어야 소소 삼로 땅다 야포체토는 가라는 뒤거니 개성냠바사야데 달 람가도 탐로 약속이 지시랑 뒤뒤는 도토는 소소 뒤서 뭐부터 하는 거야 로송에 뭐부터 하는 거야 어디 직스 더 소는 거 속어잖니 들으셨은 거예요.
And that can be seen as the best path to accumulate merits, because you don't need to spend a lot of time, you don't need to make much effort. In a very easy way, you can accumulate a lot of merits.
Yeah.
One question?
Yeah, because we are talking, he just said we gain the same merit that the person gained. But for example, this person might have gained something and we don't know it, with like bad intention or with bad behavior. Like for example, someone got a new job, but he got it by gossiping about his colleague or something negative. So how does that work in this case?
Okay, like you think that someone like did a very good virtuous action and you rejoice on this, but actually it wasn't so virtuous.
Like such a virtuous action, but he said we can also rejoice in like when other people get something that we might have instead of being jealous.
Yeah.
So he brought the example of a job.
Yeah.
But for example, our colleague might have gotten the job because he cheated or was gossiping or whatever, and we don't know about it. Like, is it just like we don't know this and we rejoice and it's fine, or should we like consider this aspect?
And are you asking in this question of accumulating merits or not related to this? If like you accumulate the same merits, or
he said we accumulate the same merit, but if this person actually had bad intention or did bad deeds to reach this, like in the extreme case, someone might have murdered someone to get a job. Like I know that's not the typical case, but like we don't know this. And he was saying we accumulate the same merit. I hope not.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that 그런 것 있잖아요. 네, 저는 남경은 저 그렇게 와tok 저는 전혀 사투기래. 이제 파셔 공기 조방문에 겨와 마이나 남경은 스키타다나 겨와 임파래. 이 지그래. 아니 이는 이는 콘다 마시네 콘 셰파 지글럽선 페나 미직 레카 락나 님은 저는 tok non pas seguire yana con
tanda di travat ngaron tena tanda tanga nambyung aso tanga ndagi kong chi ji ate chitang ngi ti kong ma shi ya chi cha ji shi ro te kare sana pena ngatsu mi chi ke sa ya bo sa bundu sa me su su oni ga gom chogore tele ga gom mi cho se se yo ma koron kono kare mi ngatsu ha go mare pena mi chi kita chi 직전에 고랑게 대배 다직 장치요 시그레 양나 조바 비요 시그레 맞서 봤다나 배 오늘 인도 가보 쉬우시 맞서 통거래 Tungru. Then also, so when you go gomna kesama to Johnsa Neomata Delia, Gisiran China, Susulia, Dodon taking a gunshot, Sosa, Susuziet, Dodon Susu Simlia, Simba Yagi Cholia, Katsevia Chip, Yasatana, did Susu did it. Chichena Pasho, Kernon, Pasho, Medi, Kernonde, Samba Masu Hako Gorzena, Kapachaverta. Chichena Kurandi. Mazu tasa gets us a yo soundosh. Chichena Koran Keda Chimbuchaya. Marzum gets us a chogre. Kokanong Masoli she can take away. Mazo gets a Marzo Kanomato, Kokanong Masoli did.
So he's, for example, let's say there is someone doing prostrations and we rejoice in this action because it seems like a very virtuous action. But of course, we don't know the motivation of this person. The person might be doing with very, very worldly motivations, or might not be actually accumulating a lot of merits. But his or her motivation doesn't influence our accumulation of merits. It's based on our motivation of rejoicing. We can still rejoice towards the actions that we perceive to be virtuous. It doesn't change if the person did. With the bad motivation or if the background is not exactly what we think it is.
Yeah. Chochini Karesan was saying that Dindi Samla Tankatona, the Mijik Chaya Sigio, and the Yanchi Chobando P, Yana Tambo Mobili Jimbatam, bad in the children. As a young cook, Kerno Candina, Kunganina, so in the Samlon Cortina. Tangasu Chicano Sama Kisa, you're the back of Mijambash.
Mishabajali,
You teach at the pay, you teach a couple of charters. In this summer down there, the can't to do, Maranson, so cannot Sama Kiko. Me cannot carry a message. The Tanzechi to Marilla, Tilian, Shuchagman, Koran carry on you. Koran Lekachi, Musico me Mabashal Pento, Jimbatan Yana chance you and a Koran League Namir League on the chance here, Kishap Chetam, so pay Sundan Tamba Chagor. No, as a Giziran Chen, main city, Koninga Gayomar. Colonel Langas Giziran Chetomar, Colonel Candy Masako. But the years are such a great. Not Damada Koyo, they were so Namto. In Korea, when it's in a didn't Namto, because it too much merit of Shidokor. Makonea. Yeah.
Yeah, something also that that happens is that when we see people engaging in virtuous activities, whatever they are, could be prostrations, offerings, maybe offering to the poor, or whatever virtuous activities, we can think with ourselves like trying to guess what is their motivation, or it might not. Maybe it's not a very pure motivation. I bet he's just doing. Or she's just doing this because of this, or it's doing like this. And so his or her motivation, it's her or his, thing. You take care of your motivation about the situation. And the better your motivation is, the more virtue or merits you accumulate.
Yeah. Chini Koso and chance engagement, living Namjerda, page. The song was so bad in the Yaposhu Chiriores, Kunokai, the pay Yaposhire, Chochini, Kuchansia, the Gijepchi, the Sungra. The song was Gisi Ranche, Kongus Tom Set, Chichoso Chiche, Ninitagani, Chijimbatan, me Mambo Pento.
And if, for example, if someone is doing prostrations, for example, it's doing everything right and some time of prostrations, this thing that we are perceiving of the prostration, this is reality. At least what we're seeing, this is reality. The person is doing this, and that's already a basis for us to rejoice. Also, if someone is doing generosity, giving food to the poor or whatever it is, whatever acts of generosity, there is some benefit there. There is a basis for us also to rejoice, independent of the motivation or of the background of the person, motivation of the person.
Continued question. Do we also rejoice in people not doing non-virtuous things. Like, for example, someone like might usually get drunk, so we rejoice when he doesn't get drunk.
Okay,
Is that
good.
part of it?
그런 것 주선 뮤직 뒷바
Yeah.
무슨 디양 주스이랑 또 비례
맞아.
뮤직 저방에 봐
Yeah.
마치나 무슨 디양
맞아.
내가양 주스이랑 또 비례 야 저방에 봐
가나. 저번 한번 제가 요나 될 가와 공바.
그게 그는 소창 마치나
So much.
뮤직 야 근데 나답서는 뮤직 그런 창 랑셔 랑셔 저나 아니 니마 직 니마 주 셔고 주봉 창마 통나 그래서 주스이랑 비례
Yeah, of course. Yeah. 대체 저래. 야, 그 나게 강에 자와 약보를 세야 되다. 배나 담보 그런 게 배나 집 쇼단다 그런 세나시. 알아래 되리베. 나셔린 게 있네. 그 림베 그런 게 탑시 뭐지. 그 아니 집 가야. 대서 빼면서 지시랑 제부가 빼. 약속 지그래. 지쳐버려. 이 말에.
Yes, we can. And in the situation that you said about the alcohol, the person addicted to alcohol, if the person is not drinking alcohol, that's a big basis, great reason for us to rejoice.
Yeah. Teni 대바도 파샤셔니 직 가와 고미야 대양 가시 미 소소 드라마 소소 가초들 마소 가르잖아. 먼저 소소 가사 가와 가초들이야. 근데 지시랑 지금 capture 소소 interesting 가래야. 텔레 appreciate 치야는 마소 배답되어요. 사포트는 배되어요.
님봉은 선인 자 시도고.
자 시그르게 때 마인키 소소 내가야. 소소 배나니 직 시타발라 가보시나. 이 아부 탑댕게시는 콜베 가그래. 고파셔는 년자 인고 말다. 야. 텐도 자와카리는 소소 가신 요사테네요.
그래서
다데온데 가시베 자와디자 지야래요. 그러니까 쓸던 만든 거 지야래요. 소소형 텔레가 가신자. 그러나 디바 지바치자 사고 그래서 또 초래.
그런 것이나
배나 미직 다직 멜리아네 고코타야나 베 칸케보. 근데 지금 고코타 밀 진시 되거나 또 소소형 진시를 간보시나 나 진시게 가보시나 그 진시에 니지고 시에는 민고 같은 건 앞에 가르 그 진시에 땅들 비시리 제거래 되지는 알아 뒷받치고 싸고 그랬고
아니 도처랑 그래서는 민가서 주스이랑 이건 가시 영사라
가시는 영사를 지시랑 제거와 가시 영사들 야외 좋아요 비위 좋아요 비위 좋아요
So usually,
비시리체는 뒷받사
correct me if I'm wrong. Usually, the object that is easier for us to rejoice is towards activities that we are interested in, activities that attracts us. For example, if someone likes to dance, then sees someone other person that's a good dancer, even if it's not a famous person, but the person can dance good, we rejoice in this. And also on the opposite side, we can also rejoice in negative actions. For example, if we are very interested, like in business, and we see that this business person that that's very good in tricking other people, it's very good in playing the system, very in an unethical way, and we can also rejoice. We can also think, oh, that's super cool. We can rejoice in that, and then we accumulate negativities.
Yeah. 어딘지잖아. 단도드나 소소네. 자와 약보실이야. 지시랑잖아. 자와 야와식 봐쇼. 미잠바가 아니 자와 약보실이나 텔지시랑잖아. 야나 소소가 다니 마치기네 내가 약보로 가르치는 텔지시랑 티차세비질이야. 지시랑의 가와곰나 소소가 아니 단데가 소는 거 좋아야사야 진짜. 대마에 도초래야. 저 늘 저는 지시랑 지나다 미샴바가 지나다 소소양 내가 디자치다 디질했다 릭송선스 됐다 나랑 그 제거 추송선스 잖아 디바치를 그래 디바치잖아.
So in brief, when we rejoice, when we appreciate the actions, we can appreciate the good actions, the virtuous actions of someone else, and that increases our accumulation of merit. In a similar way, at the end of the day, or when we look in our own life, my own actions, my own good works, that's also a basis for us to practice rejoicing. We can also rejoice in this, and it also increases our merits when we rejoice in our own good deeds. And on the opposite side, if we rejoice on other people's bad actions, bad works, or in our own bad actions, we increase our negativities. It's the same. It's the same mechanism at play.
Yeah. 어때 직체. 다 니니 다 남지 가서 가르치게 되는데 차도 좋아야 많지야시. 차도. 차도데 많지야디 샴바디 레카 지우요난다. 에너 샴바기 자와이난다. 양나 샴바기 지즈었다. 아니 양나 지 반저 사마디 코나 요바데리아. 다 가르치 지시랑 생각한다. 콜레야 그때 accept 되고 말다. 그런 게 봐셔된 통용인데 됐어서 그 켈렌치 맞더니
그렇게 된 주중들이 거나 연대는 주요바.
그런 연대 여바디 여대인 바 뭐제제 맞도 아니 하나 그런 게 반절 친구시나 하나 그런 배 지금세보 하나 지 소타 미츠 보이나 하나 니게 뭐 가린 뭐에 대한 소소 켈렌치 맞도 다 텔리한테니 jealousy 다 텔리한 젠심 냠디야 젠심이요 대세전은 차도
And from another side, many of us, when we, towards some people, when we see some qualities, we see some very good qualities, or maybe could be financially, or it could be, intellect, or also looks, appearance, anything. We might give rise to jealousy, and giving rise to this jealousy, we cannot accept that they have these qualities or these things, and we give rise to jealousy and also competitiveness. Yeah.
Tadi te kar pento chingwani jisirang da gawa gomtona shambali mi mangbo jiliya chik korangi lekagi chani yabu chagi nanda ta kante kar gani na Tivi sosole kar pento resi yanjo choshini samudana namji wanso kanga mambo chikti chato da dinji nrensim dinji wangi ane shamba de ko gangli ya shundu ya ko nepa viharin zhongdi soso matya chaya soso matya cha masi dukshur chik duri duri rona pari soso la maga soso pe kaya menjongi soso namji wanso sel shua Echandre. Tesu tsama le karak pendo jusi na shamba le ka ashati mi yabo chana kole jusi na kontona soso jiboyong soso kasi jiboyong soso magawa de nyor.
And something that happens when we cultivate jealousy, when we meet with jealousy. So this object of our jealousy, the more successful or the better this person gets, the worse and worse we get. And the better the happier this person feels, the more problem we feel. And we also, it's common for us to start to feel like we are like worthless. Like, like seeing this person and we look at ourselves and we start to have this low self-esteem or even developing self-hatred towards yourself. And this, this is saying this to bring to the benefits of rejoicing, because if you're able to appreciate, to really appreciate the things that are making you jealous, then you would avoid all these problems that come out of it.
Chevi Kavlia, Molia, Kunika, Yonder Chipa, Yonder Chipa Chica, Kori Chipa, Gugin Chipa Club, Titsa Chipa, Yonder Chipa, Tamani, Pagate Gishan and Gandu. Pagate Zemo the second round. Takuni, Nika take Yam the Lea Pekhocha, Chick the Mianadu, Chick the Jill Leonde. That Jill Linketi, more linga the accept it home. Tati Kablaya, Karchilsina. Susu Susul Maga, Susu Samaga, the Mienjo Masus. Many Manjui Jim Sakaris. Mining Yonder Chipayo. Karagichani Chipayo. That any Susu Maga, the Shiche take up delivery.
Susu Maga. So let's, for example, let's say there are two people, very similar people, and they're preparing for a race, like running, and they prepared in exactly the same way. They had the same training with the same teacher, the same resources, the same conditions. Everything's exactly the same. But the moment they leave from the same place, right, the start line, but the chances that even though they had everything the same, the chances that they are going to cross the end line at the same instant, it's impossible, basically. So someone is going to get in front and the other person is going to be behind. And the person that came behind many times cannot accept the fact that the other person won. So the person has the feeling, the feeling that comes after the race to the person is, oh, I didn't win. Why didn't I win? We had everything the same. I lost, and carrying this feeling, the person can cultivate also this self-hatred, this low self-esteem because of losing.
Yeah, that indeed Kablia, Manishan, the Kasongo and Zindan Machikacho. The Chochin and Azu in Matsite, the Tindo Shireta. Chick competition.
From one side, our life is a bit like this, there is like a competition.
Yeah. That the nature Kablia, Karmu Karchin, Susu Mili, me Mamboshi Yorta. Me Mamboshi Susun in a short. That the Kablia, that Susu take Monechimato, except Chimato. That Namimasu is stress.
And the reality, in this like competition of life, the reality is that there are many people in front of us, always. There are many people in front of us. And if we cannot accept this, then we have this, stress, etc.
Yeah. The Kablia, Chochin Kasum, one and Zendana Chusari. And it's also a Gile, Mimombuyer. They are some much Cantona, Pepintoyero.
And also there are many people behind us, of course. So if that helps us to balance our mind, it's also good to remember this.
That Chini Kazangan and Zendana Chusia. So Jianguchani, Mitsamalaya. That you again chick by one, Zendra chick by a chasha, Zendra chicken, again chick by Logion chick by Chena, Tisu chick by Tanaya. When it's a mitsama, Niba chick by Yoresena, Niba Yor the Niba chick by Yoresena, Kapochares. Yeah, there's some logic down to na. Suso, that's Suso Niba the Timato Mindo Samna. Marangi Suso Yanguet Sama Jai, Tiso Tanguat Dine. Taina Kung Gerishundre, Kung Mali Kuniba Che Yoresamba. Tingolenchitona, Suso Tes Camagnon.
So if we have exactly the same conditions, the same, for example, in the school, the same teacher, the same materials, resources, everything, we spend the same time with the topic, everything the same. It doesn't happen that everyone gets the same result out of this. So like we all have potential, but some people have more potential, some people have less potential. And if we are able to look at someone who has more potential or more potential, and rejoice in this person, that makes so many of our problems disappear.
Yeah. And it Chochini that Chinibalan and Tukudu, Yan Chochineta, Chi Nambitatum Kashishina, Susu, and Kalorta, Sunum Senado, Sunum with Sauce. No Susu, Chikazorta, Leon says, Susu, Susulia, Karma. That's also deep individual Susulia, Dulam, Senata, Langa Madrayo. Tinding in Samatantona, there's Yon.
And also, we can say potential, but also, more in the side of the Buddhist explanations. Ni Liwang yore ani
So
shenpa yore
le chik sonam
Liwang sonam sok lasa
ane so chik individual so
saga yeah so we have our own accumulation of merits, and we have also our own imprints. We have different imprints, and because of this digingire so gegilam kayere yanamare digingire so on top of this, there's going to be differences, and because of this we have our individual path. We have our individual path, and I think that thinking about this also helps us to lower this competitiveness.
Yeah, na chigni soso ngaso patana da chik mitsama sipo chaptang dawan de shore da. Yang wani ubiki dona asu biologically sora da chik physically sikona. Ti gani ya chik Geshe jatamba tsama nyam nyam sinanda experience sinanda chik pa yorwe sinanda.
When we look in our bodies of people we know, it seems to be like kind of similar, but actually if we go and analyze and look, it's very different. Like genetic, like look into the genetics and these things, it's very different. So because of this, the way that we experience things, our experiences are going to be different.
Yeah, what did you say? That jigni dagi kaunle shana stanga zo yesi ran chesi ade kandeji ko krese ben semba tingi ko krese shikoro chamba chade namjing azo laya da pe michikala ka ya ho chena tele ya chi congratulations sikta pe ni jibo lagre pe yinda kapola gre oni semba tingi ko tele gago ma ko chedi chenane de chi tsod me desena.
When we say rejoicing, like how to rejoice, and we use this word, we have been using this word from the deep of your heart to rejoice. And then when we see, some of our experiences, like, someone does something good, has some success, and then we come to this person and say, oh, congratulations. We have this rejoicing. But from the deep of your heart, do you experience like deep happiness with the action of the success of this person?
Pena ta chik pamasu so chik tukleya ta chik bage ni so ni ta chu patrite yana jutrok tumri ya shushitun yana ta chik kazo ta tantar chik ya po shuchana pamasimba tenga gagro. For
example, as a reference, let's say two parents, and their child just passes an exam, like an important exam, or enters university, something like this. The feeling on the heart of these parents are rejoicing, from the deep of their hearts, they're rejoicing in the success of someone. And then we can ask, do we have this kind of rejoicing? Do we have this feeling towards the virtuous action of someone? If we're able to have this kind of feeling towards the action, the success of someone, this is what we call the best rejoicing.
Yeah, the contrarian, Tindigo Sosola Gatsor, the she chumbu show, Tindigo Yapo Chona, the Yimbache, the Menayam, that you call like a chatelia, Mandopa Machona, so a Tonyon de Chona, that you see on a degree, the Shidela Lana degree, Congressional Kai, Suzuka Galana Chivamido. Bugi Leka Yawa Chinget and Maga Machona, Maga Chona. That when it that chick could so Danium Tampo Ketanaya,
So of course that if you're able to have this sort of rejoicing, of course that's the best. If you're not able to have this sort of rejoicing towards any action, then we can first try not to have the unhappy feeling towards someone's success. So first try to avoid this jealousy. And if it comes equanimous, like a neutral feeling, that's very good. That's like a next step first at least try to have a neutral feeling. And then on top of this neutral feeling, then this happy feeling of rejoicing, appreciating can be cultivated more and more.
Yeah. Tanto de na te chikan so ne mi chikele ka yange kara lega yona. Yange kara chiga yona. Tatele yang chona tsowa yakshut kore tsowa. Tsora yokon. Tsora tele yawa chiga ne yakpo chiga susu tsowa. Tsowa dang dene yakpo chiga yopate. Ani jisi irangda gyabchu chi toya. Dikbo chiga yona tin chukumadu samba. Ta tsowa chikne. Tele yang tin chukumadu ziya kore yang chik. Susu tinji. Meje ang chawa. Ta susu ina yinba chi. Mijamba isa chawa dikja chi chiga yona. Susu te tinjo te ta yakpo tsa ni mudu susu tsowa lene. O ta tinji nge chiga me samsam. Tinji me tona ta chota kirbare yakshuri. Tinji nika chonga.
Yeah, so if this from two sides, it's good to have some feeling. From the side of when we see someone engage in a positive action, to have this deep rejoicing, appreciating this, and gawagong in Tibetan, which is like to be happy about it. Yeah, to cultivate this happiness about this is good. And also if we see something that we perceive as not virtuous, like bad actions of someone, then it's good to have the feeling, oh, this is not okay. It's not okay for me to do like this, and to avoid this action. So these two, they are good to have.
Yeah. Tade ka te chona de yaksha chi tak ma chona de ki gang se na sing. Chi music le ka chi ya ko chi yo na de le ka ko ma to ne ya. De le ya man de cho. Ta ma ga se na cha. Cha to ma chon su su chi. Kar chena so yang cho chi ni so to nyom ri ja sa na ta.
And if we're not able to appreciate, to have this happy feeling, then at least we try not to have the unhappy feeling, not have the jealousy, and try to have some neutral feeling at least.
Yeah, more ditch. Tading also with under any shikars. Jisi rang seti. Susoliachi. Simly a suso chick. Tagi gongshia no shiki sim some yawi chok. There's yako. Nebija, Jisirangin Karchia to see a chick. What the dream was a day. Then Pacheta Nipat Sumbat ready to do.
Yeah, so this is a rejoicing, what I have just explained, which is a method for us to strengthen the positive side of our mind more and more, becoming habituated to this action of rejoicing, appreciating other people's action. And now, do we have time for the other limbs or the next topic? We have some minutes yet.
So rejoicing is actually just a feeling. It's not like an action like frustration or something. It's really just a feeling. Like, for example, I go to the library class in the morning and think, oh, I'm happy for everyone that is here with me. That's rejoicing, or is it like more like a practical action?
Then just suis similar tenere pena lu ki just yomare pena chatsa drapo yomare ngana su tsoa tsam rebe.
Yeah. Jisi irang chese on this so namji samlo gani rangri. So pe semba dengi. Okay, chik tal appreciate sora gana. Trono the demba kuri.
Yes, it's something done, it's an action done with the mind. Yeah, only with the mind, and ideally with the deep of your mind, the more happiness you can feel, the better.
Yeah, tayon chik sosongoni jisi irang se that chik chachini yang chik linga ga gani yang. The linga ga gani ta yang yo chora. The tinji bed. Qualified chik matsunamji lagayo. Tashi delendo the chorantini chale kaya bochet monive. Pekawo chong seato tak ti chik sambo the chik yapo tini chine yang ko nga ga ni ke chi sa sagra kasi komri tangor.
And it's possible also to engage in this practice using your speech. So the three doors of action, the mind, the speech, and the body. So with your speech, it's also possible. For example, you go to someone, oh, Geshe, I'm very happy that you did this and this. Congratulations. So this is a way also, can be a tool for us to make this more stable in ourselves, to habituate ourselves with rejoicing, to use the speech, our speech to.
But the
main thing is the mind, of course. The main thing is the motivation, what's happening in your mind. And also it's possible with body language, for example, the expression of your body to show, like when you see someone like doing virtuous action or whatever it is that you could rejoice towards, you can also show respect with your body in some ways, in many ways.
Yeah, that's all my so do the not continue cho mamboji so linga yu sung kani do the not touching also kar so chi ja ko re zu ta yi samla di ba che te ma so
need to
da chamba ni di ma so kar yor sin li to ba si nam ji shir li to li chi ne ngane se ka shir ma so chi jo ba ina me ka shi kyen go chi kalorta chi kache shetona na chi pe mi kanga maga so ja ndo da ani chi ti lo kon da re chi te so ya chi jo ba ten da na mi sama maga so ja te so ri te li ka ni de ke wa ta te so sama chi li chi to ba li chi ne ngene se shi ka chi so ma chi ta ya so ro da kon to tan de so li ma yu sum ka ni ki jab ta chi si ran chi to na. So
it's good also to try to approach this from many perspectives, for example, with your body, speech, and mind. The main thing here that we're trying to solve is with the mind, yeah. But he used some terms now that I'm sorry I don't know the translation. But like some people, you know, because of the way they speak, it might cause some unhappy feelings, some unhappiness in other people, or the way they dress, or the way they behave with their body, you know, it harms in some way, it causes unhappiness in the mind of other people. All of these things, we also need to give some attention towards this aspect. So from every side, you know, body, speech, and mind, if you can, for example, now relating to rejoicing, if you can practice with their body, speech, and mind, it's beneficial.
Yeah.
Anyone online has any question? No.
Yeah. Oh, then so tenda ti ani ti jilia. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Okay, so
maybe we can.
Yeah, so today Yeah, so today we're gonna leave for here. We still had 10-14 more minutes, but maybe to start a new topic, the short time might be too short. So today we leave a bit earlier.
Thank you very much. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Meryl. Thank you, Valentina. I rejoice in your coming to this class. Thank you.